Right, quick new intro. You'll still get the rest of the video, but I have to explain. I wanted to still upload the video because an oopsie happens, a moment that I think will cause some actual hilarity because I was really silly and I won't spoil anything. But you're going to experience a little bit of hell like I did because of the audio setup of this game. It doesn't let you skip it at any point for some reason, and that is definitely a problem. But it was also, it turned out to be very my own fault type thing. So yeah, and I also wanted to figure, I should probably mention now, it turns into a full ramble vid, and I bring up multiple topics like reviews, emulation, rhythm groove, like Rhythm Paradise as well, which I would love to be able to actually do a video on this full game at some point. And when I do it, I don't know how I'm going to be able to show footage. I mean, it's going to be real bad, but I guess at least I'll be able to do this. But yeah, it's the calibration thing. You're about to experience that. So yeah, with the rest of the video, hopefully it still is enjoyable. But I wanted to fully admit right from the start, this was supposed to be just one topic. That then I was like, oh, actually it should be 3, and then it became like 4 or 5. I'd definitely go places with it as well, and I understand that this is not like everyone's cup of tea type of video. Not like trauma dumping or anything, and it's just I definitely go off on tangents at times. So without that though, with all of that gone, you're about to experience this, which yeah, it turns out I didn't ever finish the thought with it, so I guess I'll mention it here. I think I might have a 1.5 second delay on my audio, which is weird because I do explain this part a bit, so I'll be light here, but it doesn't ever seem like it. But this game has taught me I actually have such a delay that I literally can't play it on my monitor, and you're about to experience why. Right, into the vid now. Hello and welcome into another video, and I would love to actually be talking about Rhythm Groove Paradise today, or Rhythm Heaven Paradise, and I'm going to still do it. Like this is going to be the sort of thing that this is so short, this can't really be a video, so this needs to be about something else as well. And the reason I can't talk about it is, oh, I've just realised I'm actually hitting the wrong button. I'm hitting Y for some reason. But the reason I can't talk about it is this has to be a handheld game for me, because as you'll probably see here in about 10 minutes time, I hope it isn't 10 minutes, it just felt like 10 minutes, I will fail this test. It's not that I've not got rhythm, and I understand there might be a lot of people, if this is your first video, it's just like, oh, this is a bad gamer who doesn't understand, like, oh, I can't believe the excuses. No, the latency, and I know why. It is my own fault. It is fully my own fault. I'm going to explain my fucking setup here, just so you know how bad the latency is. The thing is, though, I don't understand how it's as bad, because I don't notice it at all in any other game. I play all my Switch 2 games like this, literally, every single fucking one of them. But I can't play Patapon, and I can't play Rhythm Groove on my monitor. I'm using a 2K monitor that's plugged into my PC, and also plugged into my Switch. I then have a capture card running from my Switch and my PC, so that I get the input signal, goes into one, goes through to the other, so I can still use it on my monitor real time as if I'm playing a regular Switch game, but my audio goes through my PC. It has to go through my PC because I need to be able to hear the audio of the game, and especially when doing videos like this, that's the way that this works. That's how capture cards and everything work. This setup is so simple, so easy. Anyone can make videos these days, just fucking anyone, because of this, and I'm so glad, because I missed being able to do this. And I know I don't have a huge following, and the following I do have, I honestly don't know why you follow me, because I keep crashing out a lot of times, but I am so glad that you are actually here, because seriously, even if only one person watched, I would still make these, and I'm honest with that, because I get more out of this than I think anyone else ever will. So either way, that's just a quick tangent to say thank you to people. But anyone can make videos because of the way this setup works. You just plug the capture card in, as I say, into your Switch, into your monitor, into your PC, you get the image real time, you get no latency whatsoever on the controller, but the audio, I don't notice any latency whatsoever. I'm actually hearing the beats at the same time that all of these are lighting up. Like, and this was the same with Patapon as well. I will hear it at the same time, but when I push, it's apparently not the right input. Like, there's apparently so much latency that this game's about to yell at me eventually, and maybe I wasn't joking when I said fucking 10 minutes. Yeah, it really does take a long time. It's going to tell me that it doesn't work, and I've spoke to other people, and it's like, wait a minute, you can feel the setup test. It's like, oh yeah, you can feel the setup test. So yeah, this has to be a handheld game for me. And because of that, I've not been able to play it yet, because as anyone who's been watching any of my videos knows, my handheld games, my before bed games are my Zeldas, my Fire Emblem. I'm playing on a 3DS at the moment. I was actually playing Rhythm Paradise Megamix on the 3DS and stopped because I knew this version was coming out. And I was really looking forward to it, and now it's, oh, I'll get to this when I get to it, because I can't play it without playing it on a handheld, because I just have so much latency, apparently, from doing the setup. And I know part of the problem, I didn't explain my audio setup to you, and I need to as well. I have a Bluetooth adapter plugged into my PC, because the actual one that came with my PC, I bought a pre-built because of my disability, my visual impairment, my all sorts of things. There's no way I could ever build it myself, so I bought a pre-built, and I knew I paid a little more. Turns out I actually saved money by buying it when I did, because of the Rampocalypse and everything. Yeah. So I bought a pre-built, and I managed to get a really good graphics card, really good CPU, but the motherboard and the Bluetooth chip and all that, it's like kind of set in way, because that's how they save costs. It's, you get the good stuff, but then the stuff that's there, it's just capable, and it's definitely caused some problems, but everything I've been able to fix and get around. And in this case, I just got a Bluetooth adapter, plugged it into my PC, and I use my headphones wirelessly over that, and I get all the audio. And again, it syncs up for me. I slash with Link, and I hear, yeah, I collect a coin in Mario, I hear, bling. It's maybe, if anything, a tenth of a second off, which a tenth of a second should be manageable with a setup like this. But apparently not, because the fact that I'm still here, still doing this, and it still hasn't failed me yet, it means that I really can't talk about the game or show the game or anything, because yeah, this is pretty much all you'd fucking see. I'm hoping this still at least ends soon so I can get to a fucking menu or something, because I do want to at least mention Rhythm Groove, because this is, if you have never played the franchise before, Rhythm Heaven, Rhythm Groove, no matter where you are, no matter what it's called, please try the demo. It's a fantastic franchise. I know I haven't even played this yet, but it's a fantastic franchise. It really is. I got into it late, but this is definitely a ramble vid, okay? I need to go through a lot of things, so this really is a ramble vid, and I might have even forgot what my original topic was going to be. No, I haven't. It's emulators, right? Okay, so that's really funny. Turns out this is why, as well. Like, it was going to fail anyway. And the hilarious thing, if you might actually remember at the start of the video, and it's why I'm keeping this video in, I said I was pressing Y instead of A, and I don't know why I was doing that. Because the last video I recorded on this was Mario Kart, so I'd swapped my Y and my A button. So, I mean, it feels like it should have failed. But maybe because it was getting absolutely no input, maybe as it was getting the wrong input. I'm not going back to this, by the way, because I'm at 8 minutes of the video. I actually did remember pretty much straight away, but hearing that over and over again was dementing me. So I also thought it must have been dementing you, and I apologise if it was. Because again, I do want that up there, because I want you to see, yes, I have just been that silly. Like, to forget that I'd changed the controls, but instinctively, like something in my subconscious was telling me to push the Y button. So yeah, I'll just go for fucking... I don't even know. Jokingly, should I just go for Mario Kart? Because I always say Mario Kart's the fucking easy footage. Yeah, fuck it, I will. So yeah, I really wish there was a way to even skip that, because that is a problem, by the way, the fact that that goes as long. That was up to 8 minutes. But yeah, I do want to champion it. I want to see it, even though I haven't actually played this. Which, again, it's going to be a ramble vid. This is going to bring up 3 topics. I need to try to remember. Talk about my cousin. Talk about emulators, and talk about reviews. Those are the 3 headlines here that are coming, okay? So at least now that I've said it, worst case scenario, I can pull back. But the brain training, by the way, is actually helping. I did remember it straight away. I just also needed that fucking music to stop, as I say it. So basically, this is Rhythm Heaven, Rhythm Groove, whatever you want to call it, is the kind of franchise that my cousins like Zelda, my cousins Mario, like whatever, one of the biggest be-all end-alls for you is, whenever there's a direct or anything, I write it up for them. I write up beat for beat, because they don't have the time, with how they work, with where they get up, with the time place that they live, the amount of times that they just cannot do Nintendo Direct. So I write everything up. I do it in order, like, hey, show opens, you've got, like, is it Koizuma, I believe his name is? Like, the only reason I even remember that is because I write up who's talking. Like, so, it says this, we go into this game, what the hell is, oh, L's to use? Yeah, that actually makes more sense, thinking about it, because L's to use items on fucking, I'm used to ZL, but anyway, I'm already getting sidetracked. I'll write up word for word what happens in a Nintendo Direct. When I got a Rhythm Groove, which obviously, thankfully they know it's called Rhythm Groove, and thankfully I also know it's called Rhythm Heaven, because I actually didn't know it was called Rhythm Groove, and I went, oh, this looks like Rhythm Heaven. I've never played it. I don't know anything about the franchise. This looks like Rhythm Heaven. That was the basic line. And then I changed it to, oh, it's actually called Rhythm Paradise. Sorry, Rhythm... What the fuck is the actual... Yeah, Rhythm Paradise Groove. I was mixing up the fact that groove is the actual tagline. I apologise. So, it's actually called Rhythm Paradise Groove. And straight away they were like, no, it is Rhythm Heaven. Like, you got it right, that's your name for it. It's like, you got it right, oh my god, you have no idea. Like, they went full freak out. They went, like, when I see a Zelda revealed, like, the Link's Awakening remake, I saw literally 0.1 of a second of the scene. And I knew that game because I'd played it so much. I knew from the ocean. I'm like, oh my god, it's Link's Awakening. That was my freak out. Like, I went ballistic. That was them. This is their franchise to them. If it gets you, it gets you. So there's a demo there. Just wanted to see it. Please play it. Even though I actually haven't, I can guarantee you it's a really good game because they don't make bad games. And everything I've heard from all of the fans, it's like, oh yeah, this is amazing. It's the non-fans who don't get it. But the fact that there's a demo, this could be the one that takes off. This could be the one where the franchise really takes off and it actually gets popular and we don't wait an entire decade between iterations. The last iteration of that fucking game was the 3DS one that I've brought up, and it was like a greatest hits where it added some things, so it wasn't even a fully new version of the game. I think the last full new version of the game was the Nintendo Wii. I think the Wii version. And before that, we had a DS version and we had a GBA game, which I think the GBA game was only released in Japan. Is that it? Is that literally it? I think that's it. I think that's the entire franchise. I can't remember another one. It's not a popular franchise, so I'm hoping this is the one where people realise, oh, this is actually one of the most well-quality made games. Yeah, it's got some issues. Like, the tutorial things is valid for people, but if it gets you, it gets you. It's really good. Try the demo. So, moving on from that, that's the cousin part done. This is their franchise. I want to move on to the review thing, because it naturally bleeds into it. Again, with the whole, even though I haven't played it, I'm going to admit something that I never thought I'd admit on this channel, that some people actually did kind of figure out, and when I explained it to them, they understood it. But this is something I've even seen professional reviewers mention. Most people don't roll credits on games that they review, because there's no point. For the, like, there's obviously big games you need to, and I would do so as well. Like, I don't want to just take random shots here at Wind Waker, but if I'd not rolled credits on Wind Waker, then my review would have been much higher if I'd stopped at the midway point. But that's beside the point. There are so many games like beat-em-ups, or fucking just there's certain genres, beat-em-ups, races, things like that. You really don't need to play the entire game to be able to review it. You need to know the mechanics, you need to understand how it works, and you need to know how much content the game has, and that's it. That really, like, there are so many games that I have put less than 20 minutes into that I've actually done a review, that review that I know fine well has truly helped people, has made their mind up, has made them spend their money in the right place, and they love it. I've had so many people come back just like, oh my god, your recommendation for this was like spot on, like, and I've played the game for 20 minutes. And it's, even if it's a game that I absolutely loved, if it's a game that I'm like, I do not have the time for this in my life right now. So if I loved those 20 minutes, like if it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, I mean, granted, if it's a beat-em-up, I'll probably finish it because they're really not that fucking long anyway. But if it's something where I've got hotshot races and things like that, I've got racing games where I've done videos about them and I've played an hour and I'm like, yeah, this is a really good game, really good racing game, I really enjoy it. I know literally everything I need to know. Nothing's going to change here, so I'll just do the video now. This is just one of those things. It seems to piss so many people off who don't understand, but if you have played, like, there'll be franchises right now. If you think you can be a reviewer, you probably can be. Like, anyone can be, with the tech being as easy. This is why I brought it up. And the fact that if there'll be games out there that you'll be able to look at and you'll be able to go, you know what, I know what they're talking about. I actually do know. Like, I don't need to have rolled credits on Rock Band 2 to be able to review the entire Rock Band franchise. You know, like, there's so many games out there, you really do not need to have played for longer than 20 minutes to fucking size it up fully. Rhythm Heaven is one of those, in a good way, though. But, like, if you love the demo, you will love the entire thing. That's why this blends naturally into that, and I just figured this was the time I'd finally get to it. And now, onto another thing that I'm noticing a lot of people are doing, and this is definitely in response to... This almost feels like one of those warning shots at the big corporations, the big media corporations, and even the small ones, and even the mid-sized ones, because I love a lot of places like Kinda Funny. Kinda Funny have got a staunch 300k subscriber base, and it's been coming up recently on the pod from a lot of people that they aren't really growing from 300k. They hit that, and that's where they've stayed, and people are confused, like, why? Because, like, you're really good, and yeah, they are really good. I do strongly recommend them. They are very leftist and do not pull punches when people are shitty. Like, it's a really good fucking community. It's really nice. It's really welcoming. They do so many amazing things. But they probably are never going to grow above 300k because they openly discuss why they hit that number and why, like, the way that they look at their content and the things that they know that they can do but they don't want to do because they don't want to fuck off the original fan base. That, like, they've got their audience, they're catering to their audience, and that is genuinely the right way to do it. Like, there's so many people in capitalism who seem to think that big number must go up permanently. There's a reason that when I started this, and I'm being truthful when I've already said this, I never expected to hit 100 subs. The fact that I hit almost 4k in like my first year, and then I had health issues that made me stop, I probably could have been genuinely big. And it never would have been a monetized channel even if I got big. I don't do this for money. I do this for the fact that I need a hobby, I need an outlet, and I actually can't do this for money for so many different reasons as well. Like, there's so many things that I can't sell my soul to a corporation and, like, do a sponsor and talk about it. And even if I genuinely like it, there's video games up on this channel where I'm in the review credits. Now, granted, it's my dead name. I'm trans, hi, non-binary. There's a reason I use them pronouns, and I don't pull punches with that either. If you don't like that, then sorry that you're bigoted, but get fucked. Bye. Not trying to be nasty to anyone who might be on the fence or anything, but, like, this is not one of those things where I get to be nice because I take so much shit for this as is. But yeah, trying not to be an asshole, trying not to be a damper. So yeah, cannot sell my soul to a sponsor. But even if I like something, because again, name's in video game credits, but it's my dead name. But my gamer tag's there, but again, it's the old gamer tag, it's not Sky Fellowship. I'm really happy that I'm in that game. And I have been very open in those reviews where I'm like, yeah, I do actually love this, and I didn't expect to be in the game credits of them, and I truly do love it. Even if I didn't, I'd be saying that. And proof of that is the fact that I then do rip into certain things where it's like I spoke with a developer and I said, I just wish you'd done that, and I wish you'd done that, and I wish you'd be more open to not being on a Nintendo platform, because now I actually do love all 3 of those games that were made. And there's literally no way to play them. I don't even think there's any way to illegally play them. Like, not that I would be recommending pirating from an indie, like, that I'm in the credits of or anything like that, which I will be getting to this whole thing, but it's the whole digital preservation of it. They're on my Wii, so I do actually own my original Wii, and to be fair, they're on my Wii U, thinking about it, because I did the transfer, and I own the Wii U still, so I could still play them, but, like, there's those 3 games that I love that no one will ever be able to play again because the dev didn't want to put them on Steam. I was pleading, I'm like, listen, I truly do believe in this. If you put it on Steam, you'll actually make some money here, you'll actually be able to continue doing this. But he only wanted to produce games for Nintendo, and it's heartbreaking because he actually did have a lot of talent. It was a 3-person team. This was when indies were really, really breaking out. I'm telling you now, those games would have actually made some bank these days. And some of them are a little basic compared to some stuff, but if they'd just been able to push out onto Steam and actually grow some awareness, instead of having this vision of, I have to be Nintendo, and please Nintendo notice me, and Nintendo never did, because of course they didn't. Like, it sucks, but that's as close as I've got, and even then, there are times when he had issues with certain things where it's like, I wish you hadn't been a little harsh on that. Like, there was a mechanic in a game and it's like, well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be harsh on it because it wasn't great. And I don't know if it was something that ever got patched, because when he explained his vision with it, it's like, okay, so I do understand it, but I'm sorry, that's still bad game design. So yeah, I even then, I cannot sell my soul to it, and a sponsor, I'd have to see a verbatim what they want, and that's why there are a lot of times when you will see sponsored content and I'm like, this is still genuine. But there's times, even with places that I really like, where I'm like, some of this is genuine, but you can also tell where some of the business talk comes in, because I know enough of your personality from watching you day in, day out. I know the fake you, and this is the masking you. This is not the real you at all. And it's so easy for me to see that shit.
and it makes it harder. But at the same time, it then makes me know, well, okay, this definitely is just a job type thing. I know this isn't a product they're fully endorsing. Like, they're having some fun with it. I'm not going to deny it, but you can tell. You know, I can't do that. I can't act that well enough, and it's nothing that I'd ever be able to do. On top of the fact that censorship, I bring up a lot of heavy fucking topics in my videos. I always have done, even before I wanted to do a mental health angle on this. No one would ever touch me, so this could never be fucking monetized. And speaking of monetization, going into my final topic, emulators and piracy, because I did bring up the whole you can't even play this person's games illegally, because I don't think anyone cared about them enough. Maybe someone just did a whole scrub of the entire... Was it called the Wii Shop? Before the eShop? It was, wasn't it? Yes. I've got, like, the channel in my... Hang on, was it the Wii channel then, or was it the Wii Shop channel? Either way, I've got the vision in my head. I did see it enough that I've got, like, the images, because you'll have seen it enough as well, because I made sure to launch all my videos that way. Like, if I actually still did videos that way, I guess sometimes I even do when I do these old ones, the consoles here. It would be like you'd see the game and you'd see me load into it, and I did that always to show that I wasn't on an emulator, other than the fact that, like, now I am. This right here is an emulator, obviously. This, like, that's all this is. I'm playing a ROM, a legal version of a legal ROM on a legal emulator. That's all this is. This is where the illegal side of things benefited greatly gaming as a whole, and Nintendo was able to do this. Nintendo actually took these people who were making these things, as much as they were shutting all of them down, and again, rightly so. Piracy and all that, like, I'm fully behind the whole, I understand it's stealing, it's why I do not endorse it or anything. All of the devices that I am using, I am very careful with in how I use them, and I make sure to use stuff that I do actually legally fucking own for that reason. Like, it's obviously I'm going to have maybe tried a game, but even then, the amount of times that I'll try a game illegally and then go and buy it legally, it's way more than developers would actually probably expect, and that's how a lot of people use it, because we need demos, devs, okay? Demos need to come back. This is a side tangent and a side tangent and a side tangent. Demos need to be a thing. I've literally just said it with Rhythm Paradise. Demos are important. Demos really are. I understand you see demos as this big bad, oh, what if the person doesn't like our game? That's a sale that we've lost. But what if the person does like the game? The amount of people who use piracy as a demo to then see if they can get it, because a lot of these emulators, a lot of these things, they have glitches, they have issues, like even the official Nintendo ones. Remember when Ocarina of Time launched and it was like shit? Do I even have it on the front page? No, I don't. But on the Nintendo 64 app on here, Ocarina, a lot of games, but especially Ocarina, one of the be-all end-all, the game that is still highest rated to this fucking day. You launched it in an abysmal fucking state. Even the official good ones, even these emulators have issues. We want access to our games, to our libraries on our consoles. We want to be able to play all of this shit in a good manner. And piracy is not great, so we will pay for a better experience, like all of that. I need to make this known. But the fact, and I know I've went really weird here, and I'm now trying to like string a sentence together so it sounds normal, but I don't think there's any way that I can actually do that, so I'm just going to say this does all tie into why I wanted to talk about emulators. We're going through the physical apocalypse type thing, alongside the rampocalypse and everything. I've already mentioned, I am a digital gamer. I do prefer it. There are so many advantages in a vacuum, but in real life, there are different things. There are a lot of corporations who don't care about this, who just see everyone as stealing their stuff and all of this, you know? So now they're trying to go as anti-consumer as possible to force you to always be buying their stuff, to always be doing this. This could lead to so many bad DRM checks, this could lead to so many things. There's so many negatives with what they're about to do. And it is scary for everyone. And it's why it's so telling that I'm watching IGN podcasts, I'm watching Giant Bomb, I'm watching Kinda Funny, I'm watching MinMax, I'm watching Game Informer, I am watching some bigger places, I'm watching some smaller places. The fact that so many people are openly talking about buying AYN Thors, which I don't have one, I don't want one, that's beside the point though. I do have things that are considered emulators, like the mini SNES is an emulator, you know? I have ways to play the games that I actually own. I have so many digital licenses for so many of these retro games that I don't have access to them anymore, that I'm playing them on those devices. I'm doing stuff as by the board as I can do, with reason, as I say. But the fact that so many people are talking about these devices openly and talking about these things, it's not just small indie creators anymore who are talking about them. And there's so many channels out there that do actually advocate piracy, that do show you how to set up with these devices and that. And I will never be that channel, because again, I need to be very careful with how I even talk about this, because I am, hopefully this is the type of thing that if a human ever watched this, they'd understand what I'm actually trying to say here, because I truly am. Not that I'm so much on the billionaire corporation side, but I'm on the side of, hey, there really is a win-win here. You're doing so many fucking mistakes. Like, you could get money and still be seen as the hero in the gamer's eyes. You're just doing all of the wrong fucking things. You really are. And it's so fucking annoying, because it's why we need digital preservation like what we've got, and that's what piracy ultimately is. As much as you don't want to admit it, there are games that you cannot play in any other way, shape or fucking form without playing them illegally, and that's not the way that we want it either. So the fact that I am seeing so many larger corporations talk about these devices, your A1i Thors, you're getting all of these things and talking about, there's literal things of the best way to emulate games these days, the best sites, like the best ways to play these things on your PC, the best way to play these things on your phone, and it's not just the smaller indie creators talking. It feels like the media are trying to send this message. Because if even the big places are promoting these things, I could talk about this, and I still have to be careful, obviously, and I've got a tiny little following, and only 20-30 people might ever watch this video, you know? IGN podcasts, doesn't matter if you actually like IGN or not. There's some people who hate watch, and that's valid. There's some people who, well, I mean, it's not valid, it's kind of what the hell are you doing with life, but you do you type thing. It kind of is still valid. If you are watching something that you hate, there is still a weird way to do that. Like, I will finish a book that I'm absolutely hating just to finish it. Like, I do get it. But if you're tuning in weekly for a podcast, then I don't get that. Because, like, really? You couldn't spend better time with it? Either way. There are people... There's like 7 million subs or something on that channel. Maybe it's at 10 million now. Those podcasts go out to a lot of people. A lot of people. And Sony knows that. And Nintendo knows that. And Microsoft knows that. So they do have to be careful themselves. The fact that so many of these corporations are now talking about piracy openly, and talking about how easy it is, and talking about how, you know, like, talking about a lot of things that I wouldn't ever bring up. I've heard things mentioned on these pods that I'm like, that's the kind of thing that I never would have actually even mentioned, because that feels dodgy as fuck to be mentioning, and you're mentioning it, and you could get, like, seriously sued, because it's dangerous for any creator to do this, but let alone a big creator, because, again, if you're spreading this information out to the mass, like to hundreds upon millions, like hundreds of thousands, millions of people, that could affect their business. So that feels like IGN and a lot of other places are going, hey Sony, you really are forcing us to bring these things up to remind you, we can promote this shit too. We're not happy with the fact that you're killing physical either, and that's good. Now, unfortunately, at the time of recording this, I'm pretty sure Sony have already stopped the manufacturing or some shit like that. They've already redistributed the warehouse that they were doing the manufacturing. Physical is definitely going. Like, I don't even think it's a... Like, I know I've got videos where I'm saying the way to do it, the movement, and maybe, you can reverse these decisions at the end of the day. That factory still exists. Those things still exist. Like, it may not be too late, but chances are it's fucking done for, you know? But yeah, I think we're entering weird times, because I truly do think the media is starting to take a stance and go, well, if you're going to be anti-consumer, we need to be seen as pro-consumer, so we can't just say, this is a great decision. All of them focus on digital, because at the end of the day, that's their jobs. They get the codes for free, they get all of the things, like, they only have digital libraries as well. So, like, there's so many things that they could lose access to by doing this. Like, Sony could genuinely just go, right, we're just not going to provide you with codes ever again, because how dare you openly discuss playing a modded Vita? You know? But, so the fact that they're taking this stand kind of surprises me, and I'm glad. because I do not trust the big media corporations either. I still go to IGN. I've been an IGN fan for pretty much all 30 years. That's why I go there. It's kind of a force of habit, and it is good to get different sources from different places. They've got a movie reviewer who seems to, like, be 100% on the ball. Like, he's genuinely one of the best movie reviewers I've ever fucking seen work there. I'm like, whenever he does the movie review, it's like, oh, I'm going to watch this because I will find movies that I don't even give a fuck about that I care about now because your reviews have really sold me and really detail what I need to know. There's the odd game reviewer. I'm gutted that one of their best reviewers for me became their movie editor. Sorry, not the movie. Brain is fried now. Became the reviews editor, so now he doesn't really do reviews, and I'm like, that's a shame because you were the like one main opinion where it's like, you know what, his opinion aligns with mine so fucking much, it's unbelievable. And now it's like I've lost that voice, but it's good to get different viewpoints because these are just different people at the end of the day. It's why I do the whole take the piss out of the IG and give it a 7 thing, because it's just one person's opinion, and you will know from that person's opinion. Like, this is how you garner these things. It's like, oh, my tastes align with Mark. My tastes align with Gavin. My tastes align with Miranda. Like, I'm just mentioning names here. I know Miranda does actually work at IGN, but I am just mentioning names here. You find the people whose opinions align with you so that when they shit on a game, it's like, oh, I'm probably going to hate this too. When they praise a game, oh, I'm probably going to like this too. But then, there'll be times where it's like, oh, my opinion actually doesn't align with them, to the point of, they hated this, I loved it. They loved this, I hated it. You, like, this is why you are supposed to get varying opinions, you know, that's the whole point. So I will still go to IGN, because they're still a very good use for me, they're a good source for me, for a lot of things. And the fact that they're standing up and mentioning these devices, and mentioning how easy it is to do this, it really does feel like they're going, we're taking a stand here and we don't care that we might lose codes from Sony, because this is the fun part. GTA did it because we all knew fine well that no one's going to say no to GTA, and most people are buying it on a PlayStation, so it meant that Sony were the ones to announce it, and then Microsoft announced it. They are too big to fail, and they know they're too big to fail. Like, at this moment in time, like, I do foresee a lot of shit happening. Like, I've already mentioned in videos that those two, like Microsoft and Sony, will get to the point where I don't think they're in the gaming industry anymore, and when that happens, we all lose access to our digital libraries, like, and all of those physical games that require updates and DLC and all that. We lose it all in one fell swoop. They will leave the gaming sector. I am adamant of this. Don't know when. Might not be in the next 10 years. Probably in the next 20 years. So eventually, all of that goes. But at the moment, they are still technically too big to fail, because GTA 6 is the biggest thing in the history of media. It's just going to be that thing. It's going to be the thing that breaks everything. So they know they're too big to fail. But IGN are also kind of too big to fail in their respective thing. Doesn't matter how shit they are, doesn't matter how many people slate them and slam them, they still are one of the, if not the biggest, out there. They get the most views, they get the most clicks, they get the most everything. This is them taking their stand, saying, Sony, yep, you are too big to fail, but so are we. And if you are going to be shitty and do this and be anti-consumer, we will take our stand. We don't care if we lose codes, because how dare you not give IGN codes? How can, business sense-wise, how does that make sense? Because we're too big to fail too. It feels like these corporations are having a standoff, and that's good for the consumer right now. Because, yeah, maybe I'm reading too much into this. Maybe I truly am. But at the same time, doesn't it just feel... Sorry, and another alarm went off. Doesn't it just feel like IGN are taking the stand for us? And I'm not trying to glorify them. I'm really not. But that's what it feels like right now. This is where the hope's coming from right now for me. They can afford this. If Sony get petty and they don't give them Wolverine review codes, it will hurt IGN. But it'll hurt Wolverine more. Which means it hurts Sony. It's the whole cutting your nose off to spite your face. Who's going to break first? Physical's definitely gone. It is. But that's not about this. It's about the fact that Pear, the guy who fucking runs the damn thing, was on a podcast recently talking openly about all of this. It feels like he is trying to do this charge of... Oh, I've kind of lost my train of thought with how I wanted to word it. But it feels like he's kind of... Yeah, I might have to make a cut here until the train of thought comes back. Right, it feels like... I still haven't been able to figure out the exact wording, so I'm going to change it instead. It feels like Pear is going, yeah, if we don't... And I know Wolverine might be too soon or anything, that's just obviously the big one coming out. Yeah, don't give us Wolverine codes. That's fine. We don't get the review up day one. That's fine. Everyone else gets their review up first. We get maybe less views. We're still IGN. We still get so many reviews. So many views no matter what. Even if we delay things, we're comfortable. Because this happens sometimes. They don't actually get their review up first. Like, hell, I've beat them with Mario Kart Wii before. Like, sometimes they don't get it up first anyway. So, it doesn't matter. People still go there. So, you don't give us Wolverine. That hurts you more, though, because you lose sales on that. And that hurts Insomniac. And seeing as your whole thing is money, so maybe, just maybe, you're not going to get physical back. But maybe... because this is the thing he was mentioning, the train of thoughts came back, thank fuck for that. Now I'm going to blow up by waffling, aren't I? Maybe, just maybe, it's like, we want you to bring in better consumer laws, better consumer rights. This is what I mean by I don't know quite how to word it. Physical is 100% going. But we can still hurt you. And what we want, and this is what he then started to actually... go on and mention, is we just want access to our libraries. We just want access to this, like, all of the stuff that he detailed out. It felt like he was taking a shot. It really did feel like he was going, like, I don't know. He knows who watches his stuff. Like, let's be real. He knows who watches what. Like, the Xbox podcast knew that Phil Spencer was watching, and now knows that Asher Sharma doesn't. So they know who watches their stuff. It feels like he was basically saying, these are our demands. And I don't mean to put it that way, but it also... because he listed off, yeah, physical's dead. But there's a reason all of these devices are so popular, because you can get access... It feels like he really was trying to do a case of, hey, just to remind you, piracy exists. Like, just saying, it does. Now, what pushes people to piracy? Well, it's not having access to the things that they bought. Like, he went through so many things. And he didn't do it in this, like, full speech. It's one of those that when you watch the podcast he was on... which was NVC, I believe. It's the one that I've literally just had on, to be fair, so yeah. It was NVC. When you watch that, just the way he talks about it, the way he sets things up, it feels like he's constantly doing a whole, hey, Sony, you could do this, but this will happen. You could do this, but this will happen. And hey, this is what will fix it. We understand physical's going, but do this, and we, like, it feels like he was setting it all up for a championing status of, I know someone's going to see this. Maybe he just makes sure that it gets to the person that needs to see it. And go from there, you know? Because that's all we want. That would fix it. Physical is going. We all know it's going. We've all known it's going. We've been being pushed to digital for the longest time. And I've embraced it faster than others. And there are valid reasons, I understand, for not embracing it. But we all knew it was going. But it's the way that it's going. It's how it's going. It's like... we don't even know what DRM protections are coming in. That, like, all of these things that might really fuck the consumer over. Just, like, he brought up GOG, he brought up, like, Miranda. I've actually... maybe she was on... yes, she was on MVC as well. Miranda even then brought it up about buying EPUBs. And, like, he specifically said as well, because of this, yeah, like, we just need to figure out where best to buy our product, where best to get our digital stuff from. Like, she brought up the whole thing of, we need to look at where we're buying these things, because she can always use that EPUB from now on. That's the way EPUBs work with books. It's why I use EPUBs, because I will never lose access to my EPUB. I've got the file, and obviously the file may corrupt, but I can get another file, or I can copy the file. I have access to my EPUB. Now, obviously, that also means that piracy's rampant with EPUBs, because it's very easy to fucking do that. But, and this is why Sony and everyone will not do that sort of system. But there's got to be a way to meet in the middle. There's got to be a way so that we can get access to all of this shit. And that's all we want. Just let us have access to what we've paid for. And it really did feel like he was saying, because if we don't have access to what we've paid for, people will go out of their way. Because we all still feel like we own these things. It doesn't matter that you've sold us a license. Like, if I've already bought Mario Brothers 15 times, which I have, if I've bought Astrobot, if I've bought fucking Crash Bandicoot, and I know Crash isn't obviously Sony anymore, obviously I don't Mario either, but I'm playing a Mario Kart game, like, if I've already bought these games, why should I be expected to buy them again, and again, and again, and again? I've already bought them. And losing access to being able to play them doesn't mean that I haven't spent the money on them. So yeah, the fact that I've got this mini SNES thing, that's one of the reasons why I bought it. I always have access to those 21... Yes, 21 bits of Star Fox 2. Or I always have access to those 21 games now. Like, this is all we want. That's what the companies need to fucking figure out. And yeah, I know this has been a very, very long, waffly, rambly vid, where I've gone through a complete range of things. But all of this did start from stuff that does tie into each other. Because what did I start this with? Well, granted, I started this with that hellish intro demo thing. But yeah, it was the demo. Demos are good for the consumer. They know. Like, they allow us to play something so that we know to buy it. That's why people use piracy as much as they actually do. We want access to our games. Like, it all bleeds into each other. That's all we want. No one is out there, as much as these corporations, and people do actually fucking get games that they don't own. I'm not going to be naive and say that they don't. I know they do, but at the same time, they also don't play them. And that's just one of those weird things with, like, the way the human brain works, and a corporation will never understand that. Like, we buy games that we will never play. So, of course, we technically steal games that we will never play as well. I've got games on that mini SNES that I've just mentioned that I have never played and never planned to play. Like, it's just weird. That's the way we work. But all they see it as that, well, they're stealing all these things and consuming all of it. There's not a fucking time, an hour in the day. Sometimes people just get things that they don't want. Sometimes people will get it, play the demo, and like, yep, I like this, but not enough to fucking consume it. You're like, there's a middle ground here. Right now, it feels like it's the corpos versus us. And it's been that way for the longest time, but it really feels like it. And it's why I'm actually enjoying this whole IGN side of things, because for once, it's going to be nice. And they're still a corporation, they still do some scummy stuff, they've still fired so many people that I care about. But if they're going to actually start taking the fight to people, I'm not championing IGN. I'm going to be rooting for them. It's the same as with Nintendo with a bunch of stuff recently. There was a patent once, like, for the first time ever. I'm like, oh, I'm actually rooting for Nintendo's lawyers for the first time ever. Because it was something like, I can't even remember what it was, but it was some bullshit that one of the right-wing fascists in America was doing. And Nintendo were like, hey, oh, I think it was using Pokemon. And yeah, it was using Pokemon in a really, I don't even want to mention it, it's abhorrent, it really is. But yeah, it's like, for once, I'm rooting for your lawyers, like, because that's awful. And I'm not rooting for you to succeed in a lot of things. Like, I hate the Pokemon company, personally, I truly do. I will always bring up reminders as to the fact that Nintendo only own, I think it's something like 30% of Pokemon. So this is why you have to separate Pokemon and Nintendo, because you truly do. This is why, as much as everyone seems to think that Nintendo's scummy for all of these things, and I'm not trying to champion them with this, it's very important that you understand Pokemon screwing you in every way that they can, with nickel and diming, with releasing Fire Red and Leaf Green for £20, and then doing the whole Pokemon Home thing. All of these anti-consumer scummy things that we tie to Nintendo, they don't have that much say in it. They have enough stake in the company so that Pokemon is exclusive to them, and yes, this is scummy of them. Pokemon have their own values. They have their own, like, seal of quality. They truly do. And they like to be seen as the good guy, because for the most part, in a sea of bad guys, they're the best guy. Like, it is still a sea of bad guys, but they're the best guy. And I know this is becoming our fourth topic, and I'm trying not to lose train of thought again. But they try to go out their way to be as consumer friendly as possible in a lot of things, as much as it may not seem like it. There's a reason that the bad ones stand out, because it's rare, let's be real, but it's not rare to everyone. It's rare if you truly do look at it as Nintendo and don't include Pokemon, and that might sound weird because people are like, oh, but again, Pokemon, again, they only own 30%. They own enough so that Pokemon is exclusive to Nintendo. That's what they get from this deal. And it makes them so much money that they then look away. Don't get me wrong, I do think they have some soul. We've seen it with the mobile games, where they're like, hey, we don't like how gacha you're making these games. Like, this is not us. And they stepped in immediately. But they never step in with Pokemon, because they fucking can't. They probably still have told Pokemon, hey, like, Pokemon have probably came up with stuff that's more evil than what they're doing now, let's be real. And Nintendo will have said, no, that's too evil even for us. Please, you can't do this. I firmly believe that. And that might be my rose-colored glasses of being like, in a Nintendo more than other people. But I believe that because the Pokemon Company could be worse. You've seen what happens. Like, at this moment in time, Pokemon doesn't have battle passes, you know? Like, you've seen all of these other things. I think that's the step too far. And the fact that we then got the Pokemon Battle Pass in this freemium game instead, not the mainline, this is what I mean. It's like Pokemon mainline doesn't have battle passes, but the side stuff does. I think this is the give and take. I think Nintendo were like, hey, mainline Pokemon games, please be less evil. Side stuff, do what you fucking want because we only own 30%. We have no say here, it's exclusive to our console, that's about it. It's why Game Freak does make games on other consoles, on other systems, because they don't own enough of them. And that is important for the consumer to know, because this is where some of the misleading comes in, and why I'm bringing this up. Nintendo aren't as scummy as they seem on surface, because most of the scumminess is actually just the Pokemon Company, and it's why I personally hate the Pokemon Company. So yeah, I think this waffling is finally ending though, before I get to another thing. The worst part is, I'm worried that that was supposed to lead to somewhere, and I've now forgot it, and the brain is so fried. As much as brain training is helping, it's not perfect, it's not going to bring everything back. Maybe there'll be a cut at the end of the video, because I am going to have to watch this back fully. I don't always, not going to lie, because if you're sitting there thinking, wow, this person talks a lot, yeah, even on 2x speed, I can't stand listening back to my own stuff so much because of how much videos I actually point out. Like, credit to anyone who does, and people have to because obviously it's their job. They have to put that level of colour into it. But I will still do it every now and then, and sometimes I'll not upload the video, sometimes I'll realise, but if you're watching, then chances are you actually at least vibe with these sorts of videos, and thank you, and I'm great for that. But I also know these sorts of videos aren't for everyone. This is like a full-on ramble where I just go through 27 fucking topics here. I get it. Sometimes I just need to get this out of my system, and this is what I mean by I make videos as much for me as I do for other people. If you vibe with it, great. Then that's absolutely fucking amazing. That's the win-win scenario. If you don't need to watch it. And that's also still a win for me. Because I don't need the views, I don't need the clicks, I don't need, nothing's resting on this. If someone watches it and gets help with it, amazing. If no one watches it, it still helped me. It's why I'm always eternally grateful for every subscriber I have, for every view that I get, for everything, every piece of engagement. But I'm not dependent on it. So I never want it to come off as, I'm trying to be shitty to people watching. Not at all. Never fucking ever. Because, again, I cannot express enough gratitude. But it frees me up from needing to make stuff that I know has to perform, is how best to put it. I don't just need to stick to, okay, this is what people really like. Because, obviously, I see what videos get more views than that. And if this was a business or anything, I would have to lean on that. I'd have to go, okay, this is what people like, this is what people hate type thing. And I'd have to care about that more. The fact that I get this freedom is also a benefit. You know? I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah, so hopefully I did actually finish, and I don't need to now come back and go, oh, this is the point I was actually building up to. But for now, I think I am done. Until next time, happy Sky Fellowship. I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, this has really helped, and I think I am definitely done with making videos for the day, because this has been a wild one, and I know I've went through a lot, but there's a lot to go through these days. It just is. And I'm starting to see the bigotry side of things. I'll never see. I'll never understand, because I was never that kid growing up. But I'm starting to see why some of the grifters do complain about how gaming is worse these days. And again, when it's bigotry reasons, when it's, oh, how dare this game be a POC woman, like that, fuck off with that. Just fuck right off with that. But all of these things while I'm sitting here playing this GBA Mario Kart, and I do still like the other ones, but there's so many things where I'm just reminded of, remember when you used to get all of your game, all of it, on a cartridge, and it just worked, and there was no battle passes, and no this, that, and the other, and Pokemon was less scummy because the technology hadn't evolved for them to be as scummy. Like, the scumminess that they did was reserved to, you get Pokemon Red and Blue, or Red and Green obviously, and then you get Yellow. And that was still shitty. Like, Nintendo doesn't do that with any other franchise. Because again, they don't have the say. They've got the say of, it's exclusive to our system. But then Pokemon does, yeah, but we want to really fuck kids over. We want to gouge as much money as we can from the kids, you know? Yeah. And there's definitely a point to gaming has gotten worse. But also it's gotten so much better in so many other ways. And that's why I wanted that to be the final word here of the waffle, because I do like to do the whole, after I say get rest of the idea, I do a little sum up type thing. Gaming has got better. It may not seem like it some days, but it has got better. There's so many reasons to be happy about gaming. There's so many positives coming out this year. And it'll be better again. We're going through a bad spell. But please do believe it'll get better eventually. It might get worse before it gets better. But I've got videos about this where the industry's exploding. And I'd say go watch them, because I do bring up valid reasons, but it's valid reasons that takes like 45 minutes of why I feel things will get better. But they will, okay? They just will. So until next time, hopefully this is the end, as I say. Hopefully I don't remember it. Bye.
Don't even know what part of the video this is going to go in, but and I realised where I was tripping over words. Like, funnily enough, I'm slipping in the game as well, but yeah, tripping over words. How best to explain it? So basically, when I bought my modded 3DS and my modded Vita, they obviously came with stuff already on that the other owners had put on, so I had access to things. Obviously, I tried them, even though I don't own them. Most of them, if not all of them, I deleted, and some of them I actually went out my way to buy the actual physical thing of as well. Like, I could have just, like, Nintendo wouldn't have got any money from me either way, so I could have just kept the Rhythm Paradise thing, but I went out my way to buy the cart, even though that was a £90 cart, and that's ultimately what this is. Like, we just don't want digital stuff and these subscription services and that to be as predatory, and all of the renting stuff, like, that really is it, because you can't even use the coffee analogy, because it's like that's what they're trying to treat these as. It's like, oh well, you buy coffee every single day. Yeah, but I'm not buying the same cup of coffee every single day. I'm buying a different cup of coffee. So as much as I am renting that coffee, I drink it, my body processes what it needs to process from it, and then gets rid of it. I get the caffeine in that, and I buy new coffee every day. Well, I make and drink, like, I'm not a purchase coffee every day person. I'm gonna make my own, to be honest. But either way, not the point. So you can't even say that, because I'm not, like, every time I put this Mario Kart on here, like, this is still the same Mario Kart. Like, it's still the same game. Stop trying to make us rent things that aren't rentable. Like, that's it's hilarious, because they actually used to hate the idea of renting, but that's because renting was, oh, Blockbuster are making $3 per rental type thing, you know, and we're making none of that cut. And now it's like, oh well, now we're fine with you renting, because it means you don't own anything, and we'll charge you an absolute fortune. And it's all that stuff. That's the problem. Digital in a vacuum is so much better, because digital in a vacuum, it's like what I was saying with the EPUB files. But like, if I own that forever now. Like, I can copy it as many times as I need to before it gets corrupted. Like, because if it ever got corrupted, I'd be fucked. But at least then I'd have the other copies of it. Like, that's all we want. Why is that so difficult? Why is that so evil in these corporations' fucking minds? Just let us own our fucking products. Like, you can do this with digital, and everyone wins. It's better for the planet. It's better for this, that, and the other. You can do that. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, yeah, so first up with the slip of the tongue. Of course, I did hope I remember. I just mean, I hope that I didn't actually forget anything. And on a technicality, I didn't. It was like 2 words. It was finishing the thought of where I said the reason why I was rooting for Nintendo's lawyers. Like, that was literally it. It was just simply saying, so yeah, with that one thing, because the Pokemon thing that the right-wing fascists were doing was abhorrent, of course I was rooting for Pokemon's lawyers. For the first time fucking ever, I was rooting for Nintendo's lawyers, Pokemon's lawyers. I'm like, yep, this is the sort of thing. Please do go after them and fucking stop them from being able to run awful hate-filled campaigns with fucking beloved IPs, because as much as, yeah, I do have issues, obviously, with Pokemon, I still do love Squirtle and, like, things like that, and it is awful that people can ruin things like that. And the worst part is the fact that some people actually liked seeing it. Like, that's the part, again, I will never understand the bigotry side of this. Like, how can you live on that much hate? Like, there's people in my life that I truly hate. I've got valid reasons for hating people who have abused the ever-living shit out of me, but it's not my all-consuming focus. I don't just sit there 24 hours a day
And these are people who've literally wronged me, like physically, like in every way possible, like emotionally, physically, abusively, like all forms have wronged me. Like, I've had systems that have wronged me. Like, there's so many things I have hate for, valid hate for. I don't just look at a random minority and go, you know what? You personally have never done anything to me, but en masse, I guess I hate it. Like, it's such a fucking weird mindset, people. It really is. So yeah, it was 2 words that then became this long thing, because I cannot stress enough. There's so many things that I see both sides of, see the third viewpoint of, see, like, I can be someone said there's a better way to say devil's advocate these days, is like from the devil's viewpoint, and I do kind of weirdly like that. I can see so many things where it's like, it's never black and white, it's never good versus evil, there's so much fucking grey area, and there's so many things I truly can see, so many ways that it sometimes might seem like I'm flip-flopping in my own argument, and it's not. It's just that I truly, unfortunately, can see that it's never as simple as what it seems on paper, because there's so many ways set up that it's not simple. Bigotry's just the one viewpoint I have never understood. Why hate people because they're different from you? You do not interact with them. Nothing they do. It does, like, I'm reading fucking The Expanse at this moment in time, and the amount of times, like, I think it's the 6th book that I'm in the middle of at this moment in time, and Michio Pa, the whole thing with her relationship and being in a poly environment where there's is it polycule? I think's the word. I should actually know this. But either way, again, brain fried. There's, I think, 9 of them on the ship is what they've mentioned, and just the way that it works, and the love and the support that they get from each other, and how she'll have a sex scene with one of her husbands and then later on have a sex scene with one of her wives, and like, I imagine at some point there'll be a throuple situation, like, hell, there might even be a 9-person orgy thing, but it doesn't seem to be like that. Like, it just shows the different viewpoint. And I'm sitting there thinking, as an arrow race person, I'd be fine with this. This is amazing, having 9 people, this found family situation, 9 people who care about each other, who truly get each other, who all bring a different thing, because no one is complete. Like, no matter how much you've been through anything, there's no one person who can do absolutely everything. There just isn't. So having this dynamic of 9 people, and it's like, okay, you're the one who's good with the emotional side, you're the one who's good with the spiritual side, you're the one who's good with the, like, being the strong leader side, like, it's amazing. And reading through it, I'm like, this is beautiful, even though this is not my lived experience, and it most likely never will be, but I can actually see why it would be. But bigots instead are just like, oh my god, they're a sin, how dare you have 9 people, just like, what are those 9 people affecting? Like, even if in your daily life it turned out that you were going there and it turned out that your mechanic, your butcher, your plumber, your electrician, your IT technician, like, if it turned out that all 9 of those people in your life were interacting with each other, you know, like, even then, as long as all 9 of them are being, like, professional, as long as, like, you're getting your plumbing done, your electrician needs done, your IT needs done, as long as they're being competent on the job, like, what would it fucking matter what their home life's... I will never understand the bigot's mindset. It's the one thing that truly does flummox me. Like, as much as I despise capitalism, I can even understand why we need a system to work, because bartering has its limits with things, you know, like... In an ideal world, it would just be a case of, hey, you're born, you get healthcare, you get food, and you get entertainment, but I understand if you open that up, then it would ravage the planet so much faster, because suddenly every single person would have to have a PS5, would have to have a PS6. Now, obviously, technology would slow down at that point, and I know I'm really adding on to the video here, but this is something that I feel like I'm not so much cooking with, but need to get out. I understand technology would change at that point, because if everyone had the same phone, you wouldn't need yearly refreshes, because you're not trying to sell things. We would all get these upgrades, like, just given to us, I guess, like, in an ideal world, and we'd all get the same thing. And then it would come down to just, like, you can have the people who do the art, you can have the people who are better suited for physical labor, like, there's a lot of things like that. All of these systems feel like they're setting us back, but I can still see why capitalism, as evil and awful as it is currently a necessity.
And I'm hoping it won't always be a necessity, but I can even see that. But the bigot mindset, I cannot. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Why do you have to hate on people who have nothing to do with you? Like, who you will never interact with in any way, shape, or form. And I know a lot of it's fear-mongering from fucking ignorance and fucking media and stuff like that. They truly do believe these hate-filled things that they say. And the reality is so much different. Because the reality, and I don't want to turn it into that, is usually the people who you're being told to be afraid of are actually the people who aren't scary, and the people telling you this are the actual scary ones. Again, see point in case literally everything that's been going on with certain countries recently. Like, who would you rather leave your kid with? The trans person and the drag queen and like the polycule lot who actually raised kids and know what they're doing? Or just pick any politician these days. I don't find well who I'm picking. Right, and with that, bye.